again, like I said, not every woman has that dream. Everybody's dream is different. If I go to a woman in India, her dream might be different. If I go to a woman in America, her dream might be different. Everybody has a different dream. So don't think. Hi guys, it's your girl Kanyinsola. Oh, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Come in. Okay, I'm doing too much. Come in and also click that subscribe button, like the video, share the video. Let me know your thoughts as well. So comment down below. So today I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind for time. I usually do like topical videos anyway, about life, politics, society, culture. That's a bit of me. So this video is really because I went to an event in March or February, around that time, and it was basically about like women and working, and the working woman, and how she can balance it all, etc., etc. And at the end of it, someone was like, oh, how do you, like, the Q&A section, normally when you go to an event there's always like a Q&A section. So someone was like, must have asked, how do you juggle all of it? And all the women on the panel said their bits and bobs, but nobody on that panel mentioned why it's important to partner right. No one. And I was like, huh? That kind of made me feel like, what? I actually went up to the girl that asked the question afterwards. And I know I'm not a mum or a wife yet, but I went up to the girl and I was like, make sure you partner right. No one on this panel actually said that. Make sure you partner right, because if you don't partner right, life can get a bit higgy. Some of the examples I might use in the video might seem very heteronormative, which I am aware of, but just rock with me from my own perspective of how I navigate through life, or how I see life anyway. When I was in secondary school, we had this like amazing barrister come in. I went to an all-girl secondary school. We had an amazing barrister come in. I don't remember her name. And she was giving a talk. And at the beginning of the talk, she made a little joke. And she was like, hi girls, if you don't study well, make sure you marry well. And I didn't get it at the time, because obviously I'm young, like I'm just here to chill and live my best life, on that max and relaxing, no chilling yet. All of that. And now that I'm older, I'm getting what she actually meant by, if you're aiming, when I say partner right, this is for people that are aiming to have a family. If you're someone that doesn't identify with wanting to have a family or settle down, girl, you can skip this video. I know you won't care about any of this topic. But if you're someone that is thinking about these things, then it's worth having a discussion about. So for me, when I think of like partner right, from my own understanding of what it means to partner right, I think it's choosing someone who, yes, you have to do life and have to juggle different things in different parts, but someone who has that emotional intelligence and that not know-how, but who can work with you and communicate effectively. For me, choosing the right person, in one sense, in the bigger sense, especially if you're a woman that's trying to like do career, do life, do motherhood, all those good stuff that we've been taught is what is seen as being what having it all. Even though that's subjective, I really don't think that there is, my idea of having it all, or being able to do all these different great things, might not be another woman's idea of having it all completely, entirely. So we need to be careful about what we then stereotypically think is a woman having it all, because then is it just becoming a mother, becoming a wife, having a career? Is that all we see? Some people, they don't want to become mothers, they don't want to become wives, they don't want to become any of that. They just want to have a really good career, and that's their equivalent of having it all. So it's very important to be careful to not put every single woman in kind of this uniform idea of what it means to be an ideal woman. Financially, choosing the right person is so key in order to be able to juggle different things. Why I say that is not, I'm not talking about, oh, they need to be the next Bill Gates, they need to be some billionaire. No, just let's all calm down about how we think of finances. The average salary in the UK, I think, is like 30k. I think the average salary in the UK is about 27 to 30k. So let's say you are a one single person household and you have 30k, and then you have a child on top of that. I can imagine how much more difficult it would be to be able to juggle different things if you only had that one salary. Now, if you now partnered up with someone else who was earning 30k, and you bring those two household incomes together, that's what, 60k per annum. I can see how then you would have more of a flexibility in how you raise children, or how many children you want. That's up to you. I don't know that what you're up to. It will provide you more flexibility in how you basically raise children and family plan, rather than it being a single person household where you having to juggle way more on one single income. But then with that flexibility and more income coming in, you're able to do things such as becoming a homeowner. It's a bit easier to get onto the property ladder, because with the property ladder, you need to be earning, so they times your salary by 4.5. If you're earning 30k and they times it by 4.5, I don't know how much that would be, you know. I've actually got a calculate. I've got a calculator in front of me, so let's work that out. So £30,000 times 4.5 would be £135,000. That's how much it would be. So mortgage lenders, this is turning into a whole finance discussion. I don't want it to be. Mortgage lenders would then be able to lend you that amount approximately. Yeah, that's what they would lend you. And then if you add your deposit onto the property, let's say your deposit would be like £20,000, so that would be like £155,000. So you can then, as a single person, afford a house that's £155,000. In the UK, it is possible to get a property that's that price. It actually is. It just won't be in London. If that's what you're trying to do, if you're trying to find a property in London for that amount and you're trying to raise a family, yeah. But then if you flip it over and you have a two people household income, and like I said, it doesn't always have to be a romantic partner. It can be a family member, it can be a friend, anything. If you have two people household income of 60k, combining that 4.5, then that's £270,000, and that's probably what the lenders, which is the mortgage banks, are more likely to lend you than if you now add a combined maybe deposit together. Easier for you to navigate through life and be able to become a homeowner. So that's just one aspect of it. And then when you think about things like childcare, if you haven't partnered right and you're the only person that's earning the bulk of the money, or you're the only person with the money in the household, what then that ends up happening is it puts a strain on you, because then how can you afford childcare? How can you afford childcare? That would mean that maybe you could go out with your friends once in a while. You could spend more time at work improving yourself and developing yourself, or you could spend time traveling. The quality of life on such a tight budget might not be the same. And I don't want anyone to come and think I'm judging or I'm throwing shots. I'm absolutely not. I'm trying to think pragmatically about how you can raise a family, have a job, I'm trying to think about it, and you have to be real. Financially, you have to sit yourself down and say, will I be able to like do this if it's just me doing it, or if I haven't partnered right? It's possible. It's absolutely possible, but to what quality are we discussing? To what standards are we discussing? That's my own idea. Another reason why it's important to make sure you're partnering right in order and able to do all these nice things in life, you know, have a great career, be high flying, even though, again, like I said, not every woman has that dream. Everybody's dream is different. If I go to a woman in India, her dream might be different. If I go to a woman in Sudan, her dream might be different. If I go to a woman in America, her dream might be different. Everybody has a different dream. So don't think that I'm just coming from the perspective of what I've seen in terms of conversation about what it means for women to have it all from my own Western perspective. Yeah. Speaking from like the British kind of conversations I've had, I don't know what it means across the globe. I don't want you to think that's my idea of what I think women having it all means. It's not. So please comment down below and let me know what is your own opinion of what it means to have it all. Comment down below and let me know, if you are a man or woman, what does it mean to actually have it all in your perspective? Another reason why I think it's important to partner right is families. When two households come together, what it means is that you share an extensive network. So not only am I coming in nuclear, so mum, dad come together, you're also bringing in your own parents and your aunties and your uncles and your grandparents. They're all coming together. So you're sharing and expanding a network. If you're partnering correctly, then you can be able to share that network and share responsibilities within that network. I think it's very British to kind of think, oh, it's just mum, dad, kid. Even in the way like British homes are built, it's very, very nuclear orientated. If you go to homes in, I think, Pakistan, or when I went to Senegal, homes are built quite extensively. Even in Nigeria itself, why am I even mentioning all these different things? Like me, I don't come from Nigeria. Even homes are built extensively to accommodate more people living there. It's very common in kind of Asian families where the grandma is living there. Grandma's living with husband, wife, kids. Everyone's living in the same household. It's very common, and that's because of the support network that it enables you to have. In Nigeria, I know it's Igbo tradition that when a woman gives birth, they call it omugwo. Abi omogwo. Omugwo. If you're Igbo, please, don't be angry if I didn't say it right. They call it and that's where the mum would come into the household. She would help the new mum in this whole season of motherhood. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. However, in the UK, it's more like, oh, you'd have a health visitor that comes in. In the UK, it's really different where you're expected to kind of do it all by yourself. Everyone's first response for childcare is to hire someone really expensive. But when I was growing up, my grandmother would look after other people's kids, or my mom would look after other people's kids, and we all had that support network. But because everything's changing and it's more individual, your extensive family isn't really involved in family planning, it's a lot harder to be able to juggle so many things, which is why it's important to partner right where you have good in-laws that can help you and support you. And when you're expanding your network, that's also expanding your net worth in a way, and I've made a video on networking. Don't just think that it can only happen at one level. Go and watch my video on networking and why you shouldn't look down on anyone. Don't think small, honey. Don't think small. So it's also essentially you're expanding your network in terms of your career. And then that's how you can juggle things more when you have that support where it's like, oh, my daughter, I saw this the other day. Oh, my son, I saw this other... Like, that's how we speak in my culture anyway. Everyone is everybody's daughters and son. Who is the mom? Who's the dad? We don't know no more. So it's kind of those kind of ways where if you partner right and you go into a family that is very caring and loving, you're able to juggle more. Like you can call your mother-in-law, your auntie-in-law, or your uncle-in-law, be like, hey uncle, I've got this job interview, or hey, can you help us look after kids, we want to go on date. This is important to have. Like, childcare is more accessible, and you can also pay people at a rate that might be more affordable for you and your partner. And also just basic things like sharing household responsibilities. Like, how are you going to navigate that if you don't have someone that's taking the initiative on how to do that? I just think that's another reason I just think it's so important to make sure you're partnering someone who's on the same wavelength as you. Who's doing what? How are we sharing the burden? Is there only one person that's carrying the burden? Okay, if there's only one person that's carrying the burden, how are they going to be compensated for their time? Have these conversations from early. I don't think it's ever too early to have it. Don't have it after you now be married and now it's like, oh, so how are we going to do this? Have it from the time. These conversations early. It's not after everything has been said and done. That's when you start having this conversation about, oh, who's going to work? How are we going to be looking after our kids? How are we going to share the burdens of the household or the responsibilities of the household? Another reason why I think partnering right is so important, especially if you're trying to juggle XYZ, WXD 11 5 4 3 2 1, is that you need to make sure that you're investing in yourself before you even go into those situations. You're investing in yourself, but also someone that's able to invest in you. Someone that has that emotional intelligence to see what you might need, or when you talk to them and communicate what you need or you want, they can actually help you. So for instance, if you're in a relationship and you say, oh, I'm really trying to get into hairdressing, I'm really trying to do this, and you're investing in yourself, which you should be doing, like you're reading all the courses on hairdressing techniques, colouring, highlighting techniques, and you're doing that, you're doing your bits and bobs. Well done, babes. And then your partner sees that, oh, this girl, like, she's trying, or even if you just mention it, like you mention, oh, I'm into gardening at the moment, and then they go and buy you soil. Do you see what I mean? That it makes the life easier if you're partnering with someone that's not only you communicating about your hopes and your dreams of what you're trying to do, but someone that's in tune with like supporting you. So those are kind of my ideas on that topic. It's very brief. Obviously people will say get a planner and get this. Yes, you can do that. But if you don't partner right, your planner might just be a bit hard to maneuver if you don't have people around you that are supporting you. That's just my thoughts and my opinion. Being honest with yourself and having someone that you can communicate effectively with. If you do want to family plan, sitting down and saying, how are we going to afford this family that we're planning? How are we going to do that? What's the kind of household that we want to run? How are we going to be able to afford each other the space and opportunities to go for each other's dreams, hopes, aspirations? Because it's not only women that have dreams and aspirations, and I know why the conversation is always geared around women, I get it, but if you're in a partnership, your partner would also have dreams and hopes and aspirations as well. And it's like collaborating on how we're going to be able to do that. And nobody mentioned that at the panel, and I was like, what? That's important. Isn't that key? Like, I know it's all about, like, I know some women will say, I didn't sleep all night, I had to drink coffee every day. And yeah, I get that, but was no one helping you, sis? Like, let's not normalize having to go through these horrible, horrible struggles. And another thing, yes, there will be days where you lose sleep at night. There will be nights where you're up ages patterning your degrees or patterning your work presentation. I don't know what you're doing to level up or have it all, but at the same time, let's remember we can't always have it all at the same time. It's a higgy truth that not a lot of people want to admit, but there's a season for everything in our life. There's a season for motherhood, where focus mode, and when I'm in my vision, like I'm tunnel vision, I'm in that mode. But there's a season for everything. You can't be juggling. Like, we have to be mindful of what we're allowing ourselves to juggle simultaneously, to just say, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing that. Right now, I'm super young. I'm in my 20s. So this is a season where I'm still like bringing it all together, learning new things, making errors, learning from them. And I don't even think that it ever ends beyond my 20s. I think even after my 20s and my 30s, 40s, 50s, we still have to extend ourselves the grace that we give people that are still growing up and learning things, because no one's ever perfect at any age. I just thought, yeah, I wanted to give my 2 pence on that. I really would love to hear your thoughts on what does it mean to have it all, and how do you see yourself being able to have it all, especially in the modern world that we're living in as well. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you got to the end, thank you. I appreciate you. Bye. I'll see you in my next video. Make sure you comment, you like, and you subscribe. Share in your group chat too. Thanks.